Consensus is an interesting word. I often ask people to define it. I'm a big believer words have meanings. Words have meanings. You hear consensus. Well, what does that mean? Does it mean everybody agrees? I don't think so. Simple definition I like for myself in business is to say consensus is simply everybody understands how and why the decision was made. They feel they had a fair opportunity to influence it. And if it doesn't turn out the way they want, they buy into it, or there's the door. It's not complicated. When Margaret Thatcher was asked about consensus, she said, well, consensus is very simply a lack of leadership. Okay, you know. Somebody asked Winston Churchill once, he said, well, if you didn't belong to a parliamentary form of government, what kind of government would you be interested in being a part of? He said, well, clearly a triumvirate. Somebody said, well, Sir Winston, that's an interesting thought, a triumvirate. Who would the other two people be? He said, what difference would it make? You know, so again, strong leaders, often it's, here's what we're going to do, no debate. Now let's collaborate on how we're going to do it. So there's a difference between, do we collaborate on what we're going to do or how we're going to do it? And a lot of it depends on, are we in a crisis? Are we in a crisis? There's planners. You can be a great planner. How good of are you at executing? Two very different things. Consultants are great planners. Jerome mentioned acquisitions. I mean, I've worked with companies. You watch acquisitions. On paper, every single one of them makes sense. McKinsey will come in and say, here's how you can diversify here. Here's what you can do here. Here's going to be the return on investments. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's going to be the synergies. Here's going to be the things that we can combine. Blah, 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 blah. And it all looks good. My simple response is culture will eat strategy every day of the year. Every day of the year, culture will eat strategy. Did it Kodak, Polaroid? Get down the list. Get down the list. Xerox owned Palo Alto Research Center. They didn't have a clue what to do with it. They made copy machines. They had all the technology. Didn't know what to do with it. Created Silicon Valley. So history's loaded. Companies have life cycles just like people. And unless you're continuing to reinvent yourself, what are you going to do? And how do you seize and create markets? It's easier to get to the top than stay there, just like in athletics. How do you keep growing? And same thing.